so eloquently like to stay away from. So I just want to tell y'all, if y'all want us to get rid of racism, well, we sure not finna embrace reverse racism. All right, let's bring the family on. Maybe we could talk about it for about 2 seconds. Good morning, gentlemen.
What's going
Good
on?
rising, good
Yes,
rising, my
sir.
brother.
Yes, sir. Man, look, ladies,
Morning.
I'm telling y'all, listen, all this chocolate before Halloween, y'all better come get this now. You
Make
know,
make
Man,
hey
ain't nobody want none of this.
make sure
oh
you got
man.
that. Make sure you got your dental insurance paid up because you might have some cavities after messing
On
with
that
all this
sugar.
chocolate. Yes, sir.
I know that's
Hey,
right.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm like a milk chocolate Hershey's bar double. So
I don't even know if
Okay.
that's a pun, but I'm
I,
gonna
I'm
move
I'm
on with
I'm
that.
not gonna touch that with
Yeah.
a 10-foot pole, King. No,
Black
but I'm gonna
Black
let you
Beauty,
rock
what's
with
going
that one.
on up there, man? Yeah.
Well, I'm a heavyweight. Your damn sure gonna gain some weight if you mess with me.
You the king size, Doc. King size, Doc. What's up,
Yeah.
Lamar?
What's up?
yo
What's
yo
up, brother
Good
Lamar?
to see
What's
you, man.
good?
Y'all come on in and say what's
Yeah.
up. I know y'all over here peeping and creeping, but it's all good. Hey, so reverse racism, is that something that they just making it up as they go? I mean, either we gonna accept it or we ain't gonna accept it. I don't know.
Mm.
It's just yeah.
I
Okay.
mean
All right.
I
All
mean
right,
All right,
Britannica. Hey.
hey, all
uh
right, big cuz. That's my big cuz. Hey,
Okay, well, she must be
she
talking to
talking.
everybody
She
else but
talking
her
to
cousin.
y'all. Yeah, she ain't talking to
Oh,
me.
okay. Brittany, good
What's up?
morning. Good to
What's
see you.
up, Brittany?
what up, Brittany?
All right. Well, I just want us to help us just to be able to understand where the other side is coming from, and just know what they thinking and how they talking. And so, yeah, we are one race, but at the same time, when y'all put the isms on it, that's when y'all start that causing a problem. So that's what make it legit because of the isms. So
Right,
that's
right.
yeah. So that's what we do.
My thing is, I think that's just a term I mean, it just became popular within the last. I mean, and start using it probably the last 20 years. You really never heard of reverse racism,
No.
probably to the last 20 years. So personally, I don't think people of color can be racist. That's just my opinion. I don't think we can be racist. So this racism game that they play, this is another thing. This is another tactic that they use to want to whine and get their way. They've always whined. They whined about affirmative action.
Hmm.
So that probably can kind of be tied to this reverse racism as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just one of their terms that they've invented. So
Yeah.
it
Yep.
is what it is.
You're right. It is what it is. Most definitely the other. Oh, you thank you, man. My show catching people.
I already knew,
Hey,
big
Yeah,
sis.
he
I
already
already
knew.
knew.
All right, man. Y'all ready to work? We finna work, y'all. Y'all ready to work? Let's
Yes,
get into
sir.
this thing, man.
uh
What's our first topic? Oh, was you gonna say something else, bro?
nah, I wasn't.
Okay. All right,
Not
let's
this
roll.
time.
Listen, yes, sir. We have plenty to talk about, so don't worry. I got you, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about what for Hot Wheels was doing. Greg Abbott, his law is now being about to be put to the test. So apparently, y'all remember they passed the law right in the midnight hour about abortion, and it's illegal. And now we talked about them being able to sue. Any Joe Blow can sue anybody who's connected to somebody that want to get an abortion. Well, guess what, y'all? They finna go to work. There is now a doctor who has violated the abortion ban and is now being sued. And so now we finna see if whether or not this is going to hold up as a law in the Constitution, right? So a lawsuit that could test constitutionality of the nation's most restrictive abortion ban was filed in Texas on Monday. Today, ladies and gentlemen, that's when it was filed against a doctor who admitted to performing an abortion considered illegal under the new law. The says the plaintiff is a felon serving a federal sentence at home in Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. Listen, so the person who's suing they are felon serving a federal sentence at home in Arkansas with no connection to the abortion at issue. He said he filed the claim not because of strongly held views about the reproductive rights, but in part because of the $10,000 he could receive if the lawsuit is. Come on, y'all. Are we playing? This real though.
Nah.
This real. This,
It's
this,
real.
listen, this ain't TV. This real. Black. Listen, at least he's shooting straight from the hip, right? He
I
said it
love
ain't
it.
about the
I
baby. It's
respect
about the
that.
money.
I respect that.
I knew you was gonna like that one. I mean, okay. I'm just saying. I think the foolishness speaks for itself, right?
Yes. Yeah, loud and clear. It speaks
I
for
think that
itself.
is complete idiocracy at its best. Like I've never heard of somebody being that stupid, but
They
God
out there.
dang, man.
Yeah.
You's
Used
a
to be
dumb
ashamed of it, didn't you?
somebody. Like you would, and you know how you say like you put a person in that's high, you sit them next to a couch, and they start trying to philosophize the couch. Like man, you just a smart dumb person. Like come on, man. Like come on.
Yeah, I think stupidity used to be shamed at one point in time, but brother, it's being glorified
Shame.
today.
Oh, most
Oh man,
definitely.
Yeah.
it is glorified to be stupid. Just ask Jeff Bezos.
Well, okay. All right, Black, go on. What you got?
Well, I'll just say this. We all laugh because of the idiocracy of it all. And it's funny, but what the part that's not funny is that it is real.
Yeah.
And that in one of our major states, where presidents, future, past, current, living presidents live, and this is what's happening. And it's no wonder that we're looking to take regular citizens into space, because if there is life on other planets and they're looking down on us and trying to see our progress, we are going backwards 100%. On every level. So it's no wonder that now we're trying to see if we can live in space or live on the moon or something, because we screwed this planet up on so many levels, and just the intellectual consensus of where we are as a human race is at an all-time low. We've gone backwards in so many ways that it's preposterous. This is foolishness.
I don't even
But
think
what
Michael
did you
Jackson could
expect
moonwalk that far
though?
back.
But at this point in time in the world and life, like Lee's saying, that we're going. But what did you expect when you still have 80-year-old country fed, country raised idiots that are sitting and doing things in politics and trying to say, well, this is the law, and then now you want to pass a bill about abortions because and trying to sue people or whatnot for having abortions because you trying to figure out another way to keep certain people in a certain poverty level because now you're afraid because you find out that you're not the majority no more. You're the minority now. I mean, what did you expect? I mean, I do not. It didn't put it past me that it was gonna come to this point in any state. Now it's like let's find whatever we can find to circumvent the system so we can be the majority in some way, some shape, form, and fashion. I mean, it's just it's legal hypocrisy. That's all it is.
It's the new scratch off. It's called Find the Baby.
Yeah, find the baby. Like
Yeah,
find the baby.
find the
Let me
baby.
scratch it
Find
off.
the baby. Yeah. So
Like
I
scratch it
mean,
off.
Ken, you got something on this?
Man, going back to you guys talking about stupidity, let's go ahead and keep it funky, keep it real. Texas lead the state of Texas lead this nation in stupidity when it comes to politicians and laws that have been made. In this particular instance, I want to just stick to this Texas abortion, but that particular doctor that's being sued, he actually had another woman client of his that wanted to get an abortion. He said, they found out that she was too far along. He said, and I referred her to Oklahoma, but this particular woman has 4 kids. She said, I can't drive to Oklahoma. I have 4 kids and I have to work. So this is what you're seeing that's going to happen with this bill in Texas. These doctors going to be referring these women to go out of state to get these abortions. Those that can get them, they'll be able to. Those that can't, they won't. And then guess what? They'll have these children. They won't be able to make a livable wage to take care of these children. And guess who's going to pay for them?
Taxpayers.
The state, the taxpayers.
Here we go. So it's a continuous cycle. It's a continuous cycle where you got these dumb politicians thinking they smart. They serving their base, or At least they
What
think
up,
they
Angela?
are. And
What up,
what's up,
Angela?
Angela? And here we go. And then the most stupidest thing about this abortion law: private citizens can sue. What?
Listen, I guess felons can sue now. I didn't.
Oh,
Right,
I mean,
felons can sue. When
y'all can't even vote.
when you
But y'all
got
But they
can
can't vote.
felons
right. And don't even live in the state of Texas, have no connection to the case, so they could just file a
connection,
lawsuit
none
over
whatsoever.
the email. So man,
Nah,
you know
man, it's
that
bad.
those people down in Austin, man. I mean, those
Yeah.
nuts. I call them nuts because they
That's
are
it.
nuts. Anyway,
That's it.
that's
That's
my
man.
take.
All right, well, then listen, we're gonna have plenty more. There's gonna be plenty more idiots to come out of this thing, but we'll see how it goes, man. But shout out to the felon, man. I guess watching Judge Judy and Judge Mathis,
Right.
man, so they're trying to get paid, bro. So
Wearing an ankle bracelet, he can't even walk out the
For
house.
real, he
right,
can't
you
walk
ain't
out the
you
house.
can't even get your money. You ain't
Right. He
Yeah,
gonna
you
ask
better
him.
get
He
it
gonna ask him
before
to
5.
cash app. He gonna ask him, "Can you cash app me my 10 G's?"
Right. Brittany says, so who's real? So whose real possibility is it to protect the lives of unborn babies? That's a topic for Wendy Williams. I don't know. I can't talk about that. This is a bunch of shenanigans.
Like
Yes, ma'am. I agree.
Most
I don't think
definitely,
it's
sis.
not no one's singular responsibility or that possibility. I think that everything is that person's right. So if that woman decides that she doesn't want to have a child, then that is her right. So she feels. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm not here
I don't
to.
think it's somebody's responsibility or anything to protect. But I do believe it's an individual, an adult's responsibility to make a conscious decision about life, either terminating life or bringing life into this world.
Yeah, I don't have a problem sharing my perspective. I just think it's unproductive because at the end of the day, whatever I believe, if you don't, then we're not
It's
getting
also
anywhere.
Right.
it's
And so
all
that's
subjective. So
I do have a perspective. I do have a position, but unless we were here to not disagree or debate, we want just to get an understanding. But that's not what I mean, there's nothing to understand here. This just foolery. And so,
And
but
I'm gonna say one last thing, Brenton.
yeah,
Just let our viewers know this is just the beginning because this
oh,
is
for
really
sure.
this is really setting up a challenge to the Roe versus Wade. That's gonna keep it from
Yes.
they get ready to try to strike down Roe versus Wade that was passed in the early 70s. So
Thank you, man.
it's been
keep a lookout on that and stay on top of that.
Yes,
it's been a
it's
topic
coming.
of discussion ever since
Can't hear you, Black.
President.
Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. Dwayne.
I just want to
Shout out
add
Black.
one last thing to what you said
Okay,
about Roe versus Wade.
let Dwayne finish, and I'll
Okay.
shoot.
Oh no. I'll
Okay.
just
My
say
brother.
that's been a topic ever since President Biden took office. That was the main thing that the Republicans were like, oh well we got a Democrat, so let's attack something
Push
that
it through. Yeah,
let's
it's
try
a
it
slow
now.
grind. That's what they do. They
Yeah,
slow grind us. They massage everything into us, and then all of a sudden, oh, what is that? They get that out of it's already in there now. All right, go on, Black.
Well, I just wanted to add to Brother Kenny's point when you brought up Roe versus Wade. Think about it. It smacks of what's been pushed on as an agenda from the previous administration. You have white men telling women what they can do with their bodies, and the undercurrent of this whole thing is population control. Because from that generation, the way they see it, they are misinformed by thinking the people who are having the babies are Black, poor, Latino, and Brother Dwayne, you talked about being a minority. So from where they sit in their uneducated point of view, they think this is a form of birth control. And they are trying to strike down Roe v. Wade. When in reality, it's just like the previous administration. In their own ignorance, they're going to hurt the people they're going to hurt the most. We're not the one. Take any real census. We're not the ones out here just having babies willy-nilly. It's the poor trailer trash who marry their cousins, you know? And those are the ones that's really going to feel it the most, to be honest with you.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right. They can't go play at the park because there's too much broken glass, so they just play in the bed. All right. Anyway,
no, hey, bro.
it's meth needles in that grass.
Hey, man, I'm gonna have to cut your mic, brother.
Okay, all right, man. You said we was keeping it funky this morning. So
That's right.
I just saw something stinking. I didn't want to talk about it right quick. Anyway, all right, what we got next, man? Let's talk about this thing. Speaking of inmates, listen. I'm pretty sure this dude got his tablet when he left. You know what I'm saying? He got his tablet and his ankle bracelet. Y'all, again, we talking about Texas ignorant, right? This is Texas. Texas, everything is bigger in Texas. Even your ignorance is bigger. So 110,000 Texan prisoners, inmates, will receive a tablet with apps, radio, and email.
For what?
Right. Wait,
For
hold on, here you go.
what?
So it says the inmates will be given a tablet that will be preloaded with education materials. Guess what everybody gonna be trying to be educated on?
They gonna probably have
watch
lots.
all sorts of porn.
Some ebooks, some religious materials. Collier added they have radio. They can also have music on it. It'll come preloaded with some music. They will have an opportunity to buy some additional things. I mean, are y'all kidding me, y'all?
I don't have a problem with this. I
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
I
I'm
think
with
it's
you,
I think it's a good idea. And the reason why I say
Why?
that, because let me say this: just because everybody that's in prison, that don't mean they are a criminal. So
Okay.
if you want to stop recidivism, if you want to stop some of this jail population, get them to where they can be adapted to once they come out of there. They can adapt to society again, i.e., educational things, i.e., knowing how to write resumes, that type of thing. So I don't have a problem with this because it's not. First of all, it's not coming out of taxpayers' money. It's a company that they're doing business with. So somebody's making money off of that. First of all, and then again, I'm just saying, just because a person's in prison, that don't mean that they shouldn't be able to enhance whatever they can be once they get out. And then let's go and be honest, we're in a technological society, and it'll cut down on letter writing. It'll cut down on people. You had to put people in the mail room to go through all these letters. I mean, I can see the reasoning behind it.
All right. Well, okay, Black. Go. I don't know what your take is, so let's see where you're at.
I agree in part with Brother Kenny. It's
Okay.
right, but for all the wrong reasons.
All right.
It's
That's
right.
why I love this show,
all
man.
of the wrong
That's why I
reasons.
love this show. That's why I love this show. All right.
So
let's
my
go.
thing is, I agree with everything you just said, Brother Kenny, because just because somebody goes to prison, and I'm gonna go a step further, even if they're a hardened criminal, they're still human beings, and they still have inalienable rights to education, to be able to live a quality of life, if that's what you believe. Now, I believe some people should get killed, but that's a whole nother conversation. But if you're going to be locked up, my thing is, they're still human beings. They have to be treated as such. But here's why it's right for me for all the wrong reasons. And it's no coincidence that this is Texas. Texas is one of those states where they don't play. A big part of the economy is the prison system. Yep. And we all know that prison reform should be a national problem, not just state by state. Because if you look at the numbers, who's incarcerated at a higher rate than anybody else? But you know what this smacks of? Their children. And so what we're going to do is since they can't care for themselves, we're going to care for them.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it, Shahana. The first one of the day.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, ma'am.
So what this says is that since the majority of our inmates are not going to get out anyway, and they're funding our economy, and we're going to keep locking their monkey ass up anyway, let's just go ahead and give us something to play with like kids, because they're not real people anyway. It's right in terms of what it gives the inmates, but for all of the wrong reasons. This is not altruistic. There's no altruistic reasons behind this. They don't give a damn about the inmates. They give a damn about protecting a big part of the economy. No difference than Memphis made a living off cotton, and other states make a living off free labor. That's what this is about.
All right. Okay. I see you in the middle, Dwayne. You're going to take us far right, and then I'll try to come in and lasso all this together.
I'm not going to go far right on this. I feel like for every inmate that gets out, so maybe for every 4 that get out of prison, whether it be, state penitentiary, whatever, one of them will be a repeat offender. Why am I going to give you, a repeat offender, the knowledge to expound your, how should I say, habit?
Yes,
I don't understand that why jail is now becoming a fun thing. I don't understand why jail is now becoming like, hey, we have to keep up with the times. It's like prisoners are entitled. You're not entitled. You lost those privileges when you went to prison. So, and we want to give them a tablet to where crimes can be committed on a tablet. Are they monitoring these tablets every day? I'm pretty
I'm
sure they're
sure
not.
I'm sure they will be monitored.
of
But
course.
just like
So
anything,
so
just
let
like
me
anything, you can
so
circumvent that.
Even
So
if you're
that's
not in jail, your
even
tablet's
if you're not
monitored.
in
so
jail, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
so if you have a person that's in a federal penitentiary for computer hacking, and now you want to give him a computer, what do you think he's going to do with that computer? He's going to find a way to circumvent the system. He's going to find a way to continue to do whatever crime that he was incarcerated for. So
Yeah.
no, I do not feel. I mean, I don't. No, this isn't a good
I hear
idea. I
you.
mean, yeah, you give them like, okay, you gave them a cell phone. They're still gonna. A lot of prisoners that are in state penitentiaries are hard. They're doing 10+ years for, let's say, selling drugs. Baking soda water. I don't know the recipe, but um, they still make drug deals on a cell phone. They still do hits on a cell phone. So now you're
Yeah.
gonna give them another tool to do the same
But
exact thing
are we
over and over
blaming
again?
technology
But
for crime?
I'm
right.
not
It's not
blaming. I'm not
technology.
blaming. I'm not blaming technology. I'm blaming the thought process behind it.
Mm,
So I kind of feel I see what Dwayne's saying. It's not
right.
the gun who kills the person, but it's the person who
Person that killed.
using the
Right.
Yeah,
gun.
Right.
So I hear where you at with that. Would you say? And the guards don't really supervise? No, they don't because they half of them
they
sleep,
can't,
right? Yeah.
or they poking the inmates or something.
Yeah. So here it is. This is where I stand with the situation. I hear everybody. Shahan, I hear you. I hear you, Black Ken. I hear everybody. I hear Dwayne. I hear y'all position. My only problem with this is you got to understand they're getting the kids that are entitled and spoiled and they sit at home. It's the same difference. Like where is like I hear everybody. Even when education is free, people still ain't getting educated. So I don't think giving them a tablet is going to incentivize them to do better. I don't think that. Like you said, Black. I don't even think it's about doing something for the inmate. I think it's about whatever relationship the company has with the prisons. That's
Mhm.
it, right? And all they're gonna do is let them hack it and get on there and watch stuff they don't need to be watching in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And all this other kind of
Mm-hmm.
foolishness they doing. So I, to me, it's I don't even know how it's an oxymoron if I
That's
can say
exactly what I was
that.
about to say. It's an oxymoron.
And so I hear what they're trying to do, but it's not sincere. Can I say
Y'all,
that?
Mm-mm.
y'all do know inmates can email right now, right? Y'all do know that,
Yes.
don't
Well,
you?
Brittany
Mm.
Okay.
said her homeboy been having one, so I can only imagine.
I mean, to be honest with you, I
I
mean, this
mean,
is
how
just,
else people getting married when
yeah,
they get out of jail? I
yeah. I
get it.
mean, so to be honest with you, I mean, they already have access to technology. So
And that's why I have no issue with it. But
Yeah.
like
So
I
this is
said,
old
their
news.
reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
I work in education. I just don't believe education is a bad thing.
True.
But you can take anything and misuse it.
Yes. And see.
They
So
give
to
them they
Lamar's
give them
point,
yeah,
toothbrushes.
like Lamar,
The
yeah, they
purpose
on
of a
social media.
toothbrush,
what's that
Yeah.
for?
they
Hmm.
give them
Right.
a toothbrush.
I
The
mean,
purpose of a
you're
toothbrush is to brush your teeth. But through their ingenuity, they've turned it into a weapon.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, but
Exactly.
that's like giving a child uh an enabler. You're enabling whatever behavior is gonna come out of this. Like
Right.
I,
So
I
that's
don't.
mhm.
Yeah, go ahead, Brent.
that's the oxymoron that you say you want to educate them, but you put them on social media.
Well,
Yeah. See.
yeah, and then let's also a lot of those inmates aren't going to be able to have access. It's only those inmates that have exhibited good behavior. everyone ain't getting every inmate in it. Death row inmates probably ain't getting no doggone tablet. Let's go and be honest, because guess what they gonna do? I mean, it is what it is.
No,
So
Brother Kenny,
that's not
I'm
necessarily
gonna
true.
tell you right now. I worked briefly in Tucker Max Security Prison in Arkansas, a maximum security prison. Every death row inmate, this was 20-something years ago, had a 19-inch color TV in front of their cell. They eat better than we do.
Okay.
Don't think for one moment that they won't have access.
Oh yeah, I didn't say they weren't going to have access. I just said that they aren't going to be issued one. Now that's totally different. They'll find a way to get it.
Well, let me rephrase that.
That's just like anything. That's just like anything.
They will have it.
Just like back in the day,
the prison system.
Right. Just like back in the day, like I'm telling you, fellas, this ain't really nothing new. Back in the day, those inmates knew how to make shanks. They figured they was ingenuity. They knew how to figure stuff out. So to be honest with you, this really ain't that big of a deal. I mean, to me,
and I agree. It's not a big deal. And I guess the only reason we're having a conversation is because it was just like when you just look at it on its for face value, it's like for what? Right. Why? But like you said, well, it's already being done, so they just now giving it. Now just making it public that a whole lot of people. So I get that it's going to make people mad and it's going to make some people happy. It's just conversation to have, and it's just like, well, what you gonna use it for? It just takes you down this a trail that you like. Well, okay, well, all we're gonna do is find out what they doing, and hey, I'm gonna tell you like this: if somebody trying to figure out who you've been running with, so they can go put them in jail too, you dummies, they finna just hack your social media.
Exactly. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Yeah, exactly.
And just to circle this rabbit hole right before you leave it.
Yes, sir.
I can make an argument why keep giving more food stamps to them nasty filthies who got 3 and 4 kids.
Take us to the next one, man.
That was a great transition, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're gonna get the sisters up here cutting up now. All right, fellas. So I'm just telling y'all, all the inmate sisters, all y'all get these tablets. Y'all just make sure y'all get a good charger, because when it broke, I don't know what you're gonna do after that. You can't borrow your own.
Little Ray in prison trying to talk to you every day.
Right. All right, where we at? Britannica.
That's what he do, big sis.
All right. So speaking of tablets and personal data, I wonder they don't get unlimited data.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting.
Right. Man, I ran out of minutes.
Don't go down that. Don't go down.
Okay, I won't. You already. Yeah. Okay, so listen. My boy Falk brought this up last week, man. I thought it was really interesting. So y'all know every good thing always got something to go with it, right? Like, Black. If you don't strap up, what you gonna get? STD, right?
I mean,
I'll just be. So listen, that's it. So listen, y'all wanted the money, y'all got the money, but now here comes the honey, right? So now they saying that they want to track your data more. And again, here it is. To Kenny's point, they've been doing it.
Yep.
Like, reality is, this is nothing more than to just be upfront about what they're doing and do something about it. So there was a point in time where banks and the IRS, if you were making transactions of $9,999 or more, you would have to fill out some type of paperwork about why you're moving this money like that. So now all of a sudden they want to reduce that limit from 10,000 to now 600. Right. So when you begin to move money around, so here's the what did we say last week? That microaggression. Here it comes. Right. So now they said under the proposed plan, financial institutions will have to report deposit and withdrawals of 600 or more every year. Right now, only transactions of 10,000 or more have been reported to the IRS. But this is why they want to do it, y'all. It says the reason the U.S. Treasury Department says the reason they want this change to be made is to cut down on tax evasion. That's a big problem. You know what? And guess what, guys? When y'all get caught and go to jail, at least you're gonna get a tablet.
Right.
So it says, and the department says they estimate this will generate $460 billion For the consumer, this brings concerns of data privacy because the IRS typically has more than 1 billion cyber attacks a year. President and CEO of Arkansas Bankers Association says adding new data only compounds the risk of fraud by exposing more customers' data. I don't know if y'all know this, but those microphones on your phone, those cameras on your phone, they all can come on whenever they get ready. Just be honest with you. When y'all have pissed these people off well enough, just know that they can watch you and they can hear you. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason, this is my opinion, but the only reason that people have not gone ahead and fringed on your rights for privacy is because they would have to actually give up their privacy. And only God knows what goes on around people who make a lot of money house, that you ain't none of your business. But I'm just saying it's the only reason they stopping everybody from knowing your business is because they don't want nobody to know their business. So, I mean, but like you said, Kenny, again, this ain't nothing new, right? But now they just want to make sure that you jokers sitting up sending cash app money, they coming to get all y'all, right? All that cash moving and ain't paying no taxes on it. It's gonna eventually get there. We coming to see you. Yeah. So unless anybody got something on that, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
My only thing on that is, I mean, the IRS is already in shambles. Why would you add another layer to what they not doing anyway? Now they got this extra work that they're gonna have to monitor, and now banks and credit unions are gonna have to update their data systems to handle all this. So and now we getting set up again for data breaches. I mean, it's ridiculous and it doesn't make any sense and it's a waste of time.
All these conveniences is really corrupting our abilities to have privacy. So the more convenient things are becoming, the easier it is for people. I mean, right now, people are texting us on our phones saying, "Hey, you want this?" And if you're not smart enough to think that that ain't Jenny that you ain't heard from in 6 months really sending you some money, you can set up, sucker. So gotta be careful. Go ahead, Black.
Just my thoughts real quick. This just smacks of the hypocrisy of our class system here in America. You want to continue to invade the rights of the John Q. citizen, but we still don't know the taxes of our former president.
But boy, amen.
Really?
Amen.
Well, listen, sister girl got access to it though.
But look at the fight that they're having to go through.
100%.
The loopholes they're gonna jump through and everything. But you were right. That's why I didn't want to go too deep into it. But our Echo Dots, our social media pages, the camera we staring in right now, the licensing from Microsoft, it's all recording every keystroke, everything we do. So you're continuing to find ways to infringe upon the rights of John Q. citizen. But if you're in the right class, that 1%.
Let me let y'all on a little secret. Like, this is why Facebook is in trouble right now because of their unethical practices. And I'm gonna tell you what they're actually doing. They're actually trying to gauge your thought process. And now they're beginning to send you things that they think that you are interested in. And you know how they do that? Because when your finger stops scrolling and you watching that video and you think ain't nobody seeing you watch that video. No, and then all of a sudden you're gonna wonder why you getting more and more of those types of videos. I said, look here. I mean, y'all seen it when they were doing when you buy something. If you say, "Hey, I want Pizza Hut tonight," all of a sudden Pizza Hut ad come up on your Facebook page, right?
Like
don't
50,000 ads come up on your Facebook
Brenton, Brother Brenton, don't get it twisted. Facebook ain't the only culprit. Every time you go to Kroger's, and you use your Kroger's card,
that's right.
Every time you go to some of these big box stores and they ask for your telephone number, there's a big database system somewhere that's recording your number, your purchases. It's the biometrics is real.
Yes, and to Britannica's point right there. I'm gonna let you have it, Dwayne. Let me see this. To Britannica's point, if it was that easy, I would congratulate us. But the problem is that we enjoy it so much that we wouldn't even dare go back there. We should,
but you're right.
We should,
but
we should get rid of all of it. That's right. We won't because we don't want to feel left out of anything. All right, go ahead, Dwayne.
I mean, I think ultimately it's just a Ponzi scheme. I mean, that's why I don't things like that. I don't even give out my real number. I don't give out my real information. You're not gonna find me. You have to just look for it. And because I already know what the government does. I already know how the CIA people, these entities watch you, and they're checking, what you do on a daily basis, what you log on to, what you read, what you research. They check this every day, so they know how to monitor you, and they monitor you for different reasons to see if you're tied into some cell. But I don't give you my information. Bump all that.
I ain't gonna say the name of the company, but every time I go to eat there, I give them about like 4 different names. And so one day I went to go get something to eat, and the guy said, "Don't you use a different name?" I said, "Boy, you ain't supposed to know that." Yeah. Whichever name you want to put down there, just don't you try to keep track of me. That's so funny, man. My daughter worked at Chick-fil-A, and she they had a couple come in there, and they got into a fight, and they actually started shooting right out in the parking lot. So the people drove off, and the police couldn't find them, but these fools came in there and used their reward card.
Boy,
Man, I said, "Are you kidding me?" So the police go and find out what they did, got the name, everything, address, because she wanted to use her rewards to get her some chicken nuggets.
In the words of Fred Sanford, you big dummy.
Let's just say they're going to get their tablets.
Right. Yeah, they giving out their tablets. Yep.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, y'all. Listen, just ignorance at its best, y'all. Britannica. I'm telling you, they love it. They love their ignorance. All right, what we got next, man? Let's see where we at. There he is, boss man. Who up? I know you watching that game. Who up?
Oh man, we down 17-14 at half, man. Lions up 17-14. So I'm peeping.
That is unusual.
So, man, this is NFL, man. Yeah. Lions and Packers. Yeah. You heard me, Keno. Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions.
Who?
Now, don't be no aisle. It's an aisle on here. Come on now. Okay. Hey, all right, man. We're gonna talk about another team in Texas, actually south of where I'm at, the Houston Texans. We're gonna talk about their franchise quarterback that's been inactive the whole NFL season, and we're talking about Deshaun Watson. Well, the NFL trade deadline is nearing. November 2nd is the NFL trade deadline, and
they ain't gonna get rid of him.
The internet streets is saying, they want to try to. Texans been wanting to trade him. They're not going to play him, obviously. And I'm gonna say that. Let me say this before I get to my point. The Texans they starting quarterback actually went out on Sunday. Tyrod Taylor went out. Yeah, injured his hamstring. Their second string quarterback Davis Mills ended up finishing the game. The Texans actually lost that game. They talked to Coach David Culley of the Texans, and he said that they're going to bring a quarterback from the practice squad up to back up Davis Mills if Tyrod Taylor can't go on Thursday. The Texans actually play this Thursday, Carolina Panthers. Most likely he won't be ready with that hamstring. So, but Deshaun Watson will not be active. And
maybe 1 of 5.
So, and the reason being, if you've been hiding on the rock, y'all know Deshaun Watson has 22 complaints against him. And the grand jury has not taken up those complaints yet, according to frontofficesports.com, that the grand jury most likely won't even hear those complaints before the November 2nd trade deadline. Now, one of the teams that's interested in Deshaun Watson is the Miami Dolphins. We've all heard that rumor.
That boy went down, didn't he?
Yeah, but they say he's gonna be all right. But the Texans want a whole lot. They want 3 first-round picks, and they want 2 second-round picks.
And 2 of his masseuses.
Right. So anyway, Watson, you're probably right. Watson, he's still facing 22 active lawsuits with allegations of sexual assault and inappropriate behavior during massage sessions. So I just want to ask you fellas, will he be traded before the November 2nd trade deadline, or will he be a Houston Texan this season? Or will he? And he's still getting paid. Let me tell you guys this. He's not on
That's right.
any exempt list or anything. He's still getting paid. He's still on the active roster, but they paying him not to play. So what do you guys think? You think he'll be traded, or
I'm
will
gonna
he
tell
be?
you something. This ain't something new either, because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Barry Sanders. Yeah, I remember when Barry just up and retired. Because they wasn't gonna let him lead that team.
Right. He wanted to leave. Yeah,
that's right. And so listen, this is the age old, and again, I'm being tongue in cheek when I say this a little bit, but the oppressor, right, and the oppressive, and the inequality of the issue, right? You're talking about you'll have an owner that on camera from the Patriots, right? Do something foolish.
Right.
He get everything is cool.
Yeah.
But then the quarterback do it.
Yeah.
It's a problem. And now he can't even do what he want to do.
Yeah.
Because you want to be microaggressive, right? You go get another, again, I'm gonna talk about Tyrod and them at the end here, but this is why the brothers can't stick together, because they're green. See, they'll be like, man, that's jacked up. How much y'all gonna give me? Oh, yeah, I'll come play. I mean, dude, come on, man. You hurting the brother, but I get it. I'm with you. I don't know how many people wouldn't go get the money. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, you can't. You got to go get it.
I ain't knocking it.
And then you under contract, you signed your name on the dotted line. So at the end of the day, a team can kind of do what they want to do with you.
Right. That's exactly right.
Until you retire. Now, when you retire, that's a wrap,
Right.
But they still hold the rights to your. If you decide to come back, they still hold the rights.
You got to go to the line. Yeah,
right.
So, yep. So yeah, that's how I feel. At least getting paid. So I guess it ain't all the wash.
Right.
So.
What you think, King Noble? What you think about it?
Truthfully, I don't. I think this is just. I mean, I don't. I just think this is typical sports. What's the word? Sports soap opera.
Right.
I think if they were gonna really do something and push the issue with these 22 cases, then it'd have been pushed. And we had to look at the real scheme of things here, right? If it was that serious, and I get it, we sexual assault is not warranted and not something that I condone at all. But let's be for real. 22 cases, and he's been in the league how long now?
What's Deshaun? This is what his fourth year.
He came a year or two before Dak did.
Yeah. It's his fifth year, I believe.
So if come on, man. That's why I don't keep up with it. I could care less. If they're gonna get rid of him, they're gonna get rid of him, and they're gonna get the money. They're gonna get what they want, because it's a business at the end of the day. It's slavery. I mean, it's you might as well look at it as slavery all over again. Let's ship this one to this team here and get what we're gonna get at this option. I feel sorry for the kid, but at the same time,
no, don't feel sorry for him, because he's still getting the check,
getting
bro.
Paid,
getting the check every Tuesday.
When I say I feel sorry for him, I feel sorry for the negative connotation that he puts. That the label comes with him now.
That,
now it's like, oh, well, there's another black athlete that just went and started raping women. Oh, we got another Ray Lewis. You know what I'm saying? So whatever, man.
Okay. All right, bro. Black, you gonna say something?
Oh yeah. To answer your question, Brother Kenny, I think he does get traded before the deadline.
Okay.
I think they're in a very precarious situation, though. We can't get away from Texas. This is happening.
I know. It's crazy.
And so I think they would, if it was any other state, I think they would play him under the same circumstances where a quarterback goes down.
No, he don't want to play though.
No, he wants to play. He want to be traded, but he would still prefer to play.
Right. He wants to be traded, but
he don't want to be in Houston no more.
Yeah, I'm saying he don't want to be in Texas.
Yeah, he don't want to be in Houston
no more. Right. Exactly. Yeah. But if this was any other state, I think under those circumstances he would play. But it's Texas. It's Texas, for God's sake. And you know what the political landscape there, what it is right now, what they would say. So they're in a very precarious situation in terms of what he's done. They don't give a damn about what he's done.
Correct.
They don't give a damn about the so-called victims. This is not about justice. This is not about law and order. This is about money. The NFL is a good old boys network, a private club of rich owners. And as you say, King Noble, it's modernized slavery in a sense. But what this is about is we have to wait just long enough till this can go away long enough to not blow back on us. Right. We just saw T.I. get some of his cases dismissed, you know, and he's keep rolling on. R. Kelly is the face of all predators. And so they're getting a pound of flesh from my boy Kels, free our Kels. But anyway,
do we got a tablet? Hey, you think you got a tablet?
They didn't even give my boy a tablet because they don't want my boy to make no music. But
he got an iMac. He got an
another
iMac.
thing.
He about to have
this
a whole studio
money.
in jail.
This is about money.
Right.
And if Houston Texans continue to lose, if they lose enough games to where it's costing them money, they're gonna trade that boy.
I agree. They're gonna come up that thing. So
they were gonna trade him regardless of the fact that they had a good season or bad season. I mean, we all know the season.
You know, the biggest thing, they want to trade him because they want to get something for him. Because technically, they can outright release him right now. But the problem with that is they would have to eat that contract, and he just saying that extension, and that's gonna kill their salary cap. Yep. So they, as a businessman, they want to say, okay, we want to see what we can get for him if we can trade him, because we don't want to release him. So that's how it go. That's how that goes.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it, Deshaun. You know, good looking out, man. I don't even know what else to say about you, brother. I just go get a see a chiropractor next time, brother. Okay. All right, man. What we got next? Biden, yes, our president, man. Listen, again, it's just not things that we not aware of. It's the things that they are now allowing us to come to light, right? So apparently, Joe Biden's family had slaves.
Duh.
Thank you.
I mean, y'all just don't want to accept it, do you? And listen, my thing is, Joe ain't gonna speak a lick on it. He ain't gonna say nothing. He won't say one word about it. But apparently, they went all the way to the 1800 census, and his great grandfather. And this joker old, so we talking about some real dusties now, right? One of them had, what did he say? One in the 1800 census, one had one slave, and then another great grandfather. That's 4 greats. He had a 14-year-old boy enslaved.
That's not shocking, though.
Yeah,
not shocking, but I mean,
okay. All I'm saying is, if for all you loving Democrats who are frustrated of the right. Y'all know the parties were switched at one point in time, right?
Right.
Okay,
right.
Just
That's right.
so y'all know that. Just listen, whatever grandmama and them told y'all, just know Abraham Lincoln wasn't a Democrat.
Right.
Just so y'all know that.
And he really didn't want to sign that Emancipation Proclamation.
Absolutely,
he did not.
Just to let y'all know that. But anyway, we're going down a rabbit hole, so I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yes, thank you.
I can get into.
No, we don't get into Bugs Bunny. Don't do that. So, so just to let y'all know, fine. Biden folks had slaves. Hey, they got slaves now. Y'all just don't hear about them. They call them AIDS. So whatever, All right. So it is what it is. So I just wanted to let that be known that we knew that y'all already. So thank y'all for reporting some news that we really couldn't use. So
right.
All right. Well, let's move on because it just doesn't matter. All right, Coach Prime.
My God.
Sanders.
That's my
hey,
guy.
Man.
Yes,
He's
sir.
showing out, man. Listen, I will say one thing. For one elite athlete to another. What's up, Jennifer?
Hey, what's up, Jennifer? Good to see you.
How you doing, sweetheart?
Somebody beat you to giving us stickers tonight. So if you want to go on and put yours in now. So listen, I will say this about Deion. He's a better coach than Michael Jordan will ever be. Like,
Well,
you know,
Mike wasn't coaching wasn't his thing. He that
Right.
wasn't something he
I
wanted
didn't
to do
think Dion was
anyway.
gonna be able to coach either.
I didn't think he was interested either until he was coaching at
Yeah,
Trinity Christian up here
that's
in
right.
Dallas,
Yeah,
and I didn't think that was his thing either. But man, look,
but he turned out to be all right, man.
yeah, man, for
Listen,
sure, for real.
I was like, all right. So listen, the reason why I want to talk about Dion, man, because him and Michael Strahan did something that was very, very good, and I hope that it's the beginning of a new future. Which, you know, he's the head coach for the Jackson State University. I don't even know their mascot is, but
I think they the Tigers. Yes,
okay,
Yeah,
Tigers.
the
Yeah, they
Yep.
Tigers.
so
Mhm.
Jackson State University, Dion is the head coach of there, and so y'all know Prime. He liked to be flashy. So Michael Strahan, you know, he's played for the Giants, Super Bowl champ, right? He has a clothing line. I actually have a blazer of his, man. It's nice clothing. He decided to get all the players fitted for tailor suits.
Mhm.
Dion said he want his people coming off that plane, off that bus, looking like they ready to play ball. And you know what, man? I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate Dion instilling in these guys what has been lost, and that is integrity, right? And I don't care if you're gonna get off the bus and lose. I don't care if you're gonna get off the bus and win. At least you're gonna get out there looking good, feeling good about yourself, man. And I'm gonna tell you something. If for those of you that don't really dress up, it'll change the way you feel. Like, especially if you know how to put some clothes together.
Say
Like,
that again, bro.
get you a nice woman now if you don't know what you're doing, because I do not want to see no joker. Listen, if you see that little tag on your sleeve, that's supposed to come off of there. The tag
Exactly.
off of that sleeve.
Yeah,
Don't leave that tag on there.
yeah,
I don't care if it is Versace. You just let them see it on the inside. Don't leave that on there. Right. So yeah, man, it makes you feel better, especially when you know you look good, and then that one person tell you, hey, you look nice today. I'm just telling you, I can't stand those brothers that be going to the funerals and they just look like they don't know how to dress because everything is too big, and you know what I'm saying, their pants all scrunched. Okay. So anyway, back on Dion, man, is doing a good thing. Shout out to Mike Strahan for making these, and I hope that this will now be something that all the HBCUs will start doing.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And we just got to start appreciating things that we are taking for granted. And man, listen, we got to change the culture, right? We got to do better. So, what you think about that, Ken? Man,
Man, you said it perfectly, and you know my thing is, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good,
I didn't know that,
you gonna do good.
Yeah, man.
Did it
She
first.
said, "Fam, you did it."
Smooth come.
Florida M&M.
Well, but Strahan was the one. I mean, we're talking about Strahan providing these suits and fitted suits. I don't know if he did that for FAMU, but for Jackson State, like I say, perfect coach to do that, because y'all know when Dion was playing,
say fly.
He was always fly. So,
Yes,
and I think we have to instill that, like you said, brother, in our young black men. Pull your pants up, bro. Get some clothes that fit you right. That ain't the thing, man. When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. When you do good, you play good. And when you play good, you're gonna have some good happen to you. The universe is gonna bring some, even if you lose, like you said, you know what? But hey, I'm fly. And when I do it again, we're gonna get that W. So I'm a big time prime time fan. So I think it's dope. And shout out to Michael Strahan too for providing those suits for them young brothers.
That's it. That's two brothers that need to be doing what's up, man. Black, they doing it right?
Absolutely. And you know how earlier I said something that was done, the tablets, it was a good thing, but for all the wrong reasons. This is right, and it's right for all of the right reasons. It's a great partnership. Let's not, first of all, I'll talk about the first part, the business part of it. Great strategic business move on Michael Strahan's part to partner with Men's Warehouse and to come in at 50. So let's not kid ourselves. There's a business component to it,
sure.
Where they get the benefit by having the publicity, the marketability alone that we're talking about. This speaks to Michael Strahan's brand, and it speaks to Men's Warehouse. You know what I'm saying? And that's no different than Michael Jordan's brand outfitting, college athletics and things like that. So it's a smart business move. But then the tangible part of it has intangible benefits, as you guys talk about, because now it comes down to self-pride. and how we carry ourselves. And I love the fact that in addition to bringing his knowledge of football, he's bringing something else to the table to these young men, the cerebral part about being a man and how we carry ourselves and how we look. Because think about what the statement made a few years ago about the hoodies, and there's nothing wrong with hoodies, but that's how they see us. So imagine now he's instilling in them how they can also see us as businessmen. And for some of these young people who maybe have never owned a suit in their life, for the first time, they have a suit that's built just for them, that didn't come off the rack, that can spark in them, like you guys talk about, what it feels like to stand a little bit taller and to have on a suit. Because you know what we've lost in our own culture? It's funny that you brought up funerals, Brenton. We don't even dress up for pious occasions anymore. We show up at funerals any damn way. We show up at weddings any damn way, because we're being taught, even in our churches, come as you are. And I understand the principle behind that. But my thing is, if you can go out and put on Gucci and Versace to go to a Beyonce concert, you should be able to dress up for God. You should be able to dress up for a job interview. So I like what they're doing from that perspective, they're teaching them a lesson that hopefully will take them far beyond football.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Dwayne, did you dress up in college?
So for me, I think this is an outstanding thing. We dressed up in high school. Actually, I take it back when I started playing ball in middle school. Like I remember, I never forget it. Coach Amato, Coach Lassiter, Coach Apple, we dressed up. And they were white guys. And then when I got to college, that was the thing. We dressed up. I was probably the only one on the team that actually dressed up the way the coach really wanted us to, like with the tie and yeah, I did. I did catch flack from it. I was like, oh man, why you gotta outshine us and stuff? I'm like, yo, coach asked you, but I was older too. I was 27 and playing college. So, and then when I played overseas, we dressed up. I mean, that's the thing. That shows, it's about business. It's not about who got who's out here with their pants hanging off their ass and all this other stuff. I mean, I think that is the most disgusting thing in the world, especially when you're representing a brand. When you are the face of a brand, you need to be the face of a brand. You don't need to be, seen in a demonstrative light. And honestly, like, we even had it down to how we had our hair. We couldn't even, like, all this dread crap and mess they got going on right now. Nope. Like, our coach would not have it. And I coach AAU, and I didn't allow my kids.
Oh man, don't let the elementary kids dress up, bro. Come on now, you doing a lot, man. Don't be doing that to the kids.
No, my elementary kids. They freaking.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much.
Jennifer. Appreciate that.
Thank you. The kids that I coach, they have to come,
I'm with you, bro. I'm just teasing.
Slacks and you know what I'm saying. But I just think it's about appearance, and if you come, groomed and together, like we're all saying, you feel a certain type of way. I mean, even now, if I put on a nice shirt and some, slacks, I'm just going out. I feel. I mean, I just feel like I'm the man. I mean, I'm the man regardless of the fact. But that just adds to it,
You feel like you want a massage. You want to wash a massage.
But I think this is a great thing, man. Michael Strahan, Deion Sanders, hats off to him. I just wish that it could be exploited everywhere else and around the world.
It takes time.
I swear it does, but I swear, like, make these kids take out them damn fronts out their mouth, please. Right. Take them out your mouth.
We don't get to the King reject. Hold on.
That ain't one of them.
Oh, I know it ain't. I'm just saying. All right. Well, listen. We want to appreciate when we see people look like us doing good, and so they doing good, and so we appreciate that, right? So and again,
let me say this real quick, brother.
Yeah.
Michael Strahan is from an HBCU. He played at Texas Southern in Houston. So I just wanted to let that know. So that's cool that he's giving back where he came from. So that's what I want to put that in there too.
100%. All right, and I'm gonna just do a drive-by. Listen, it's cool to dress up, but stop dressing like a girl. All right.
Ooh.
No.
You must be talking about.
Oh,
You must be talking about Russell Westbrook and all that.
I said I did a drive by on this guy. I'm gonna
Hey,
shoot once
he
out.
used to
Okay.
play. He used to
Bang,
play.
bang.
Yeah, yeah.
Bang, bang.
All right, man. What we got next? Oh, well, look at that. It's right on time, sir. All right.
Ooh,
Yes, let us have it, sir.
all right. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. I come back off my throne to talk about something that I feel is very serious. We as a people need to stop putting our children in the grave. What do I mean by that? We need to control what our children do, what our children see, what our children emulate. If we don't stop our children from listening to rappers that promote shooting each other, killing each other, robbing each other, raping this person's woman, this, and this, we are going to continue to have what we are having today. Another school was shot up, well, not shot up, a child brought a gun to school and shot someone else. This is the fourth shooting in less than like 2 weeks. It happened at Mount Tabor High School. It happened twice here in Killeen, at Shoemaker and Ellison, and then it happens again. We have got to stop allowing the emulation of what people think is true gang, what people think is gang banging, what people think is okay for society to do. Gangsters don't send, well, rappers don't send their children to the morgue. Rappers send their children to private school. We send our children to the morgue. We send our children to jail because we sit back and we allow little Ray Ray to go out on the block and be like Big Mook on the corner and think, oh, I'm a gangster, I'm crippin', I'm blood, and I'm this and this and this, and I'm gang, or however you want to call it. And then you find little Ray Ray's head blown off because one, he can't fight, so he wants to go fight. So he, instead of fighting, he wants to pick up a gun, and so on and so on and so forth. So
Yes,
my reject is not so much as a funny thing; it's a serious thing. Black people, stop sending our children to the grave, because you are continuously sending our children to the grave. You continuously send our children to foster care because you want to emulate things that are on TV, that is society, when it's really not. It's pathetic, it's sickening, and I'm kind of tired of it because I have my own child. And to fear my child going to school in middle school, you have a middle school child bringing a gun to school to shoot another child. That should tell you something about the world. Wake up. And that's my reject.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. That sounded a little hybrid between reject and the Lee Black segment. I see the hybrid. I saw that, man. I saw
It
that.
was a bridge. It was a bridge.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's right. All right. Well, shout out to the Real Estate Insider. Appreciate you for saying what's up. Thank you, sir. We always take stickers if you have any. All right, ma'am. I think we got a couple more, and we're gonna get to the best part of the show. Yep. FBI and gymnasts. Do you know why I brought this up? Because I brought this up with my boy Lee. Because y'all know, if y'all watch this show, Lee says something all the time. He talks about the highest commodity in America. Yeah. And I really wanted to talk about this now because Lee talks about this.
I know exactly where he's going.
I want to know what Lee think about this one now. Now, listen, we know the story, right? If y'all didn't know, last week they let these athletes come on, go see the senators, and they talked about this man, Larry Nassar, Nasty Nassar. Right? Yeah, he's just one of them horny white men, right? That just and they told their story, and I felt bad for him, but I said, man, it's a lot of little white girls up there. And so Lee Black, the FBI dropped the ball for the highest commodity in America.
Yes, they did.
How did that happen? What? So now, can we move the goalpost now? Is it really the little white girls, or is it just whatever the white man?
His statement was, he said this was what's the quote he said? The worst injustice or something that he'd ever seen.
That was McCabe, wasn't it? Former FBI. Who was that
Not
said
McCabe,
that?
the one that's there now.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the former FBI guy that said
No.
that.
This is a current
The current one that
statement
was current.
and say it's the worst. So I want you to consider the source here. This is our FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, who's saying, quotable, you can quote him, this is the worst injustice he's ever seen.
Well, he must ain't seen.
No. It was
Yeah.
McCabe.
He
It was
must ain't
McCabe.
He must
Yeah,
ain't seen slavery.
Yeah, McCabe. Yeah, it was McCabe, but he's former. He's not the FBI director.
Okay,
anymore.
let's
But but it was under his watch.
I'm not going to distinguish from
it was under his watch though, because
the dude
for the sake of argument. For the sake of argument, let's say he's former. So you're telling me that in the FBI, all your years, that the 3 civil rights workers that bodies were killed in Mississippi, Emmett Till, the riots that happened over the last couple of years over Floyd, the constant black people that's getting killed in the streets still, are you telling me some
Trayvon Austin,
some gymnasts who might have been touched a little bit, by some freaky trainer, that's the worst thing you've ever seen? But I said it before and I'll say it again. America's big secret is the most precious commodity that America has, because we don't make anything here. We're the biggest importers of things here in the USA. We don't make anything. There was a time when U.S. steel was the product. Now we buy everything. The most precious commodity in America, I don't mean this to be racist on any kind of level, but it's white women. And you mess with a little white girl, oh, you going under the jail. They do not play. That Gabby Douglas, little smutty black ass, got herself mixed in there and testified a little bit. God bless her soul.
You mean
but baby, don't care about
Simone Biles. You mean Simone Biles.
Whatever her name is. This ain't about you, baby. You just a side product. These little white girls that was touched and inappropriate. Oh my God, how touching for the heartstrings, because you're messing with our very heritage, that's the soul of America. Little white girls and their innocence is as American as apple pie, and you don't mess with that.
I gotta give it to you.
I can't argue that point at all.
Well, I'll go. Listen, and I want everybody. I want full disclosure. Lee did not know that I was gonna ask him that. He didn't know where I was going. And I want to tell you, I'm impressed at how you went and got that thing, boy. Listen, boy, you need to go find you some. Go to 49 of the mountain and go get you some gold, doc, because you dug that one out. You hear me? Said, you mean to tell me that the worst thing you ever saw, huh?
Right.
Somebody touching on the high commodity. All right. I was wondering what you're gonna say with that. But yeah, we've seen worse, sir. So thank you.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, I just wanted to find out from Lee how he was gonna wiggle his way out of that. He got out of that too.
Yeah, man.
All right, I won't play with you no more. You bad brother. All right,
I appreciate it, man.
All right, y'all. Listen, I got one more thing. I got some news and information you can't use, but we'll see. And I don't get mad at me when I talk about this. But all I'm doing is commenting on the news that was put out there, right? So here's our last topic for tonight. Taco Bell. Taco Bell has a tacos 30-day subscription that they want to implement to drive more frequent visitors. So CNBC News reports that in what is this? Tucson? No, is that Tucson? Yeah, Tucson, Arizona. I can't read. Customers can redeem their Taco Lovers Pass until November 24th at participating locations. And they can go and get, I don't know how many, they didn't say how many tacos you can get, but it says customers with the Taco Lovers Pass can order one crunchy taco, soft taco, spicy potato, soft taco, or Doritos Locos taco per day for 30 days, straight on the chain's app. The cost of the pass range from $5 to $10 a month, depending on the location, and it ends. It's going good from September the 9th to the 24th.
News I can't use, bro.
I don't even eat Taco Bell, so I could care less.
Yeah, man.
I stopped eating Taco Bell like 20 years ago. And listen, I enjoyed me a Mexican pizza. Do you hear me? I used to
Okay.
enjoy me a
No,
Mexican
I'm
pizza.
good.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm
But
good on that.
man, listen, last time I ate a Mexican pizza, I thought I was eating something from the bottom of the movie theater after they swept it up off the floor.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I said, what the heck is this mess I'm tasting, man?
Yeah.
So I guess it's getting, listen, and Taco Bell is cheap. They must be getting bad out there, man, because Taco
They,
Bell almost giving their food away.
yeah, they can give it away because I don't want it.
I don't. Yeah, don't shut that down.
I could do something better. I could do something else with what is it? $5?
I can make my
$5?
own. I can make my
They
own
losing
Taco
to the
Bell.
burger
I can make
chains.
my own
That-
Taco
that's-
Bell.
When Popeyes bought
That's
that,
what it is. Yeah,
they losing to the burger
yeah,
chains.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I just wanted to let y'all know if y'all in need of another subscription, Taco Bell is having one. So, all right. Well, thank you, Taco Bell. Appreciate you, but no thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the best part of the show that you guys love to hear. And here it is. Lee Black, let me holler at you for a minute about the real Amber Alert. Now, wait a minute. Before you start, I know
I
you
think
ain't
I
talk
know
about
where this goes. I think I
think
know where this is going.
I think I know where this is going
I
too.
know exactly where this is going.
And it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
I don't through the week
you
viewers.
right.
I don't look at any of the topics that you guys post for the show on purpose
Sure.
because I like for my views to be fresh.
Yeah.
Just on top of my head.
Top
So
of the head.
the
That's
fact
it.
that you brought up the gymnast, it played right into this topic right here because I start my mornings by watching the 3 morning shows: Good Morning America, CBS Good Morning, whatever the other one is. And I get really angry sometimes at what's considered national news. So in case you've been under a rock, you probably
I
heard
didn't
the
even watch
name
it.
Gabby Petito.
Yes, I did.
And
today.
for the record, this is no disrespect or slight to this young lady who lost her life on any level. It's not about that.
Right
But
on.
just to bring you up to speed, Gabby Petito is a 22-year-old that went missing from with her boyfriend. And the feds picked up the story, but that's putting it lightly. Over the time that she was missing, E! News, TMZ, CNN, Fox News, the Denver branch of the FBI got involved. And ultimately, they found her remains in a white van on the beach. And now her boyfriend is missing, and his family say they don't know where she's at. So what does this have to do with Amber Alert? We all know that on our mobile devices, built into our mobile
I'm
devices,
telling you.
is a
And it's
system
just
called
random.
the Amber Alert system. And our phones can go off at any time,
Anytime.
morning, noon, or night, with a loud siren to alert you that a child is missing. But it's no accident that they name this Amber. So, my brothers and sisters, how many in our households, let's search through the lineage of our family, how many Ambers we got in our family?
I got a
None.
fish named Amber.
You feel me?
I don't
And
have.
there's a
Only time
reason why.
only time I say Amber is when I'm talking military.
Because you know why? There's a reason why they called it an Amber Alert. Because nobody's going to look for Shaniqua. Nobody, is going to look for, a name that's too cultural. And so, where am I going with this? Her brother said, a Petito brother said that she changed the world. And I'm sure to her family, she is God's gift. And if I lost my sister, I would feel horrible as well. But what does that mean for us? Right now, currently, there's over 64,000 reported missing cases of Black women. Right now, at this moment, those are the reported cases. Right in Chicago recently, they did a march call for the Unforgotten 51. That's for 51 women that in recent times have been missing. And in case you want to know some numbers, these are the census for 2019. All the missing people right now, all missing people, in the world, of those, 33.7% are Black, 59% are white and Latino, because they combine those two, and 0.7% are Native American. So you might think that, they're looking for white people too. That 33.7%, that amounts to 205,802 missing Black women, even though we only make up 13.4% of the population.
Dang, that's pretty crazy.
Over 205,000 missing Black women. Now that 59% that's white, that's 359,766. even though white people and Latinos mixed together, they make up, white people make up 60.1% of the population. 60% when you combine them. Native Americans only 2.4. Now that's 60%. How many of them you really think are white? Let's be honest. But what we're talking about is, we just finished this topic. When a young white girl goes missing, it is international news, not just national news. It's been on every channel whatsoever. But nobody talks about the missing black women, and don't even get me started on the black children that are missing. And so, forgive me if I'm a little bit insensitive here, and I don't mean no disrespect to Gabby Petito's family. I don't know her. She doesn't mean anything to me. I don't want to see her on my morning news shows until you're ready to talk about Shaniqua. Now, when you're ready to talk about missing Shaniqua, Monisha, Sandra, Kenya, we start going down those lists, then talk to me about Gabby. Until then, all of you damn morning shows can go to hell, because when Amber goes off on my phone, I turn it off because I don't give a shit. Excuse me.
Excuse me, but don't excuse him. Okay. Hey man, that's real. So I'm we're gonna keep it 100 with you. So
Yep.
You're right. I can't argue that position.
Okay, at all. We keep it funky here, just to let y'all know. That's what I said
I've
at the
been,
top of the
hey,
show.
look, I've been felt like that. When do their faces become more important than our people?
Right.
I'm sorry.
No, I agree.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, all right. So, well, I got one more thing to talk about. Who is the African American?
Yes, one of my favorite segments.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes,
so
sir.
before we get there, I won't be long. Yeah. Who is the African American as it relates to business? Now, if you've been a part of this show, you know by now I don't believe that I'm an African American because I don't have dual citizenship anywhere, but in one country. And I also believe that African American now is pretty much an ideology. And my reasoning for that is because although we are not them, but there is roots that will trace back, just like they trace great Danny Biden, right? His slaves. I know somewhere, listen, if you believe the Bible, then everybody came from somebody, right? If Adam and Eve started this whole thing. So anyway, I'm just saying now it's become an ideology because what we can see is the residue from these mind games, these social experiments that they were doing on black people, right? And so the way the African American was groomed back 400 something years ago and up until present, they were meant to pit each other against each other, right? They separated the house Negro from the field Negro, right? Then when we started to get our freedom, right, they wouldn't give us the things that they promised us. 40 acres and a mule. That we use that term, but that is actually a term that was put into some type of document that says once we set them free, we were going to give them these things. That didn't happen. So when you begin to do things to people of our color become very apprehensive about someone giving us things, and then when we get things, people, guess what else happened? And the ideology, when you would build a community and someone that didn't look like you said that, as my boy said, that no good, nasty, filthy, she come over there and say, you looked at me wrong. Now granddaddy and them all want to come over with a shotgun and blow up everything. So even when you build things up, they want to come tear them down. That begins to gather a thought process for us, y'all. And so here we are, the African American. What does that look like today? Well, it looks like when we go to the restaurant and we say, instead of going to the Caucasian establishment, we go to the black establishment, but we got a problem with the silverware or the bread ain't done right or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We want to set the bar so high. And don't get me wrong, we do want to set the bar high. But at the same time, you put up with one thing somewhere else. They didn't get your Big Mac right. They didn't get your quarter pounder right. So, I mean, let's not start blasting them like crazy. But then on the flip side, if I'm coming to your establishment and I have a problem, honor my problem. I'm not here to, listen, here it is, the case in point. They had a nice establishment place. I won't call the name, but everybody knows because they got social media, right? The chicks was there twerking on the table, shaking their butt on the table. But guess why they was doing that? Because it was a DJ over there mixing up the ones and twos. And guess what? When they heard the music, they getting at it. If you want your establishment to be something, well, don't confuse the people, right? So, but then you want to fuss at them. Y'all don't go to so and so in them places and do that. Well, so and so ain't got DJ so and so on the ones and twos. So all I'm saying, when it comes to African Americans doing business, you got to keep in mind what was initially the problem, and that was them putting us against each other. So I'm saying we got to stop pitting ourselves against each other. Yes, we should support Black businesses, but at the same time, Black businesses should be as professional as those they aspire to be like, and don't treat us just like y'all don't want us to ask for handouts and that 5-finger discount. Well, don't you cut corners either on that steak, and don't you listen. If that macaroni and cheese needs some butter, and you better put the butter in there. Don't be tripping. You know what I'm saying? If the clothes you want $30 for the shirt, well, don't be trying to mark up your margins by going to get them at Walmart. Give me what you gonna do, and then let me pay for it, and let me appreciate what I'm wearing, and let me appreciate what I'm eating. So, at the end of the day, the ideology of the African American as it relates to business is they wanted to pit us against each other. That's my thought about that. Thank you, brothers. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well said, brother.
And again, I'm not African American, so I will support you, but just make sure that you working just as hard to get you where you want to go as much as you want my hard-earned money.
That's right.
Yes,
All
sir.
Right.
On
All
point.
right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show this morning. Listen, we have done a fantastic job entertaining you, informing you, and hopefully we have educated you. Now, listen, it's about that time. If you want to give a sticker, go right ahead. I'm going to get my preacher voice on. Where's my music? I can't.
We need some music. Right. We need some theme music.
Yeah. Where the church music? So listen, y'all come on around from the back and follow the Ursha and just get that little sticker here. But ladies and gentlemen, it's final thoughts time, and so gentlemen, I want to say thank you this morning for all that you've done. And Dwayne, give me some final thoughts, brother.
Oh man, my final thoughts are Amber is not all that important. And I'm gonna just be, she's not all that important because Kenya is just as important. Yeah. And I say that not in a racist, condescending tone. I say that in a humanistic tone. If you cut Amber open, what is she gonna bleed? Red, right? Okay, get the point. So let's start making a difference on who's better and who's more of a precious commodity in this world, because everybody's important. Black people, stop fighting against each other to outdo each other. Grow your businesses together. Do things together. Open up your eyes and ears and hearts and minds, and because time is drawing nigh and people just don't understand it. And then also, Deshaun, okay, man, go to the Dolphins, I guess. That's the only thing I can really say. And then let's just do better to raise our children right. Stop trying to be our children's freaking friends, please. Because you're going to wind up having your friend, your child, come in there and blow your head off because you done pissed your little friend off. Stop it. They're not your friend. You are the parent for a reason.
That's right.
They are the child. Like Bernie Mac said, fuck your child up.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
okay.
Kenny.
Boy, do I need to follow that with an expletive as well?
No.
And my bad. Look, if I'm in trouble, my bad. But I just had to get that out my system.
Oh my. Well, thank you,
Right.
King Noble. You always a hard act to follow, but hey man, appreciate you, bro. You off the chain.
Yes, sir.
My final thoughts, man. 2021, dog, has been a year that we are losing some of our most iconic entertainers.
Yeah.
This brother appeared in House Party 3, Menace to Society on television, Moesha, Martin, but his most famous movie and his most famous character, he was Ezel in Friday. We lost
that dude died.
We
Yep.
lost
He died?
AJ. We lost AJ Johnson today at the age of 55 years
Get
old.
out of here! I didn't even know that.
Wow.
Yeah, this brother was one of the most funniest. Just Friday. I mean,
Wow.
that scene in the liquor store, my neck and my back. That
Yep.
He was funny in Players Club.
he was
Yeah,
funny
he
in the
was.
Players Club. And
Now,
so
watch
man,
your tone.
I say 2021, man. Just all the people we're losing. Hug tight on. Give people their flowers. I want to say this. Give people their flowers while they alive. Make sure you do that with whomever you appreciate their talent, whatever their talent may be. Give them their flowers while they live. And my last thought on brother AJ, peace be upon him, is this saddens me too. They had to create it's a GoFundMe created for him. Why age that has worked in the entertainment industry over 20, 30 years, why does there have to be a GoFundMe page created for this talented brother? That saddens me. So I will also say this, guys, make sure we have stuff, man, our life insurance and all that together, man. We got to stop having to create GoFundMe pages and sell fish plates and do all that, man. So because that's another hard part that you put on your family. So we don't want to do that. So again, peace be upon AJ Johnson. You'll always be remembered as Ezel from Friday. So rest in peace, my brother. Those are my final thoughts.
Right on, man. Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate it, brother. All right, Black, close it out, man.
Beautiful thoughts, Kenny. And so, even before I get to my final thoughts, that went along with what brought me back, even to out of my media darkness. So I love every last one of you brothers. I mean that sincerely from the bottom of my heart.
We love you. We love you back,
every
brother.
last one of you
too,
brothers.
man.
And I made a commitment to say that to you guys' faces, not just today, as often as I can. So I mean that. So my final thought is along the lines of what Brother Dwayne said. I'm talking about my black sisters. My tongue can cut deep, and I do use that expression a lot. Nasty, filthy, no goods, and I'm usually referring to my sisters. And they've been every bit of that, but I mean that with a badge of honor. But I want to explain that as well. I don't love no other race of women more than I love my sisters. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. Ain't nothing like my sisters. And so I love you dearly. And so looking up the statistics about how many of you are missing, and those are just the reported cases. These are unreported. When a black woman is missing, it's often thought of that maybe she deserved it, things like that. And they carry a heavy burden on their shoulders by the way they walk, dance, dress, and all those things, even though they're the most emulated entity on the face of this planet. There would be no TikTok, there would be no fashion, there would be no nothing about my black sisters. So I want to say to you guys publicly how much I love you. I love you so deeply, and we need to talk about you more in this sense, that for all of your flaws, just like ours, you are the most beautiful creatures that grace this planet, and I love my black women.
Yes, sir. All that positivity. Thank you. Thank you.
And TFG tonight approves that message.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
Signed,
real talk
sealed,
for
and
real man.
delivered.
Y'all, I got me a special guest here. He waiting on my final thought.
Okay.
It's my baby boy Deacon.
What up,
Say hello.
Deacon? Where you at?
What's up, little man?
Wait, what up? What up,
Hey,
young
what's
king?
up? What's up?
What
Yes.
up, young king? How you doing?
Yeah, he wanted me to show one of his videos, but it ain't funny enough. We're gonna show it one day, son. Okay. All right. So okay. So this is my final thought. Ken, have you ever had a temper? You ever been hot headed?
It takes a lot to get me, but yeah, I have.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to get me there, but I have.
Black, you ever been hot headed?
Definitely.
Yeah. I don't even want to ask Dwayne. But I've been hot headed before. I think I've gotten a lot better. Look, don't knock on my props, boy. But I will say this: for people, I've become more level headed now. Right, as you get older, you become level headed. But I will say this: this right here will be the only time I will ever excuse a man from being called hot headed. Check this out. Listen, under any circumstance, if you ever
What a numbskull.
man, we talked about ignorance. Listen, somebody in that video is getting a tablet tomorrow.
Oh my God.
They're getting a tablet tomorrow, man. All right, man. All I'm saying, man, listen. As you get older, keep a level head and let somebody set your head on fire, man. Being hot headed is all right, man. Y'all keep a level head out there, man.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Listen, man, I appreciate these brothers, man. Listen, that's Kenny, that's Black, and that's Dwayne, man. Listen, keep a level head. We'll see y'all Monday.
Oh man, I can't.